Film fans of YouTube, hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh, your Movie Apprentice, and today I am finally reviewing Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which has been out for just over a week now, and I assume most people have definitely seen it by this point or had stuff spoiled online. So this will be a spoiler review, but I will be talking spoiler free to start off with, so if you've not seen it yet, you can watch the first bit, go away, and then come back once you've seen the actual movie. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness follows is, of course, Doctor Strange as he tries to protect a new character, America Chavez, who has the ability to jump between universes, and he has to protect her from an unseen assailant that is trying to take their power for themselves, thereby killing her. So, gets into the spoiler-free stuff. Sam Raimi really puts his mark on this movie. He really stamps his trademark, especially when it comes to the horror elements. Raimi is really good at giving us horror-esque scenes in superhero movies and embracing some campiness to it as well. These are really good sequences, and it's definitely pushed the boundary, at least from the MCU, in terms of the PG-13 rating that they religiously stick to. There are some very brutal scenes in this, and there are some scenes that are really terrifying. Now, there is an issue with one particular character that seems to devalue some previous things that have been established for the sake of making that individual a straight up horror villain, which I can see why there's been a lot of complaints about it, and it does bug me a little, but it didn't stop me from enjoying the ride. I had a lot of fun with this movie. The performances of Elizabeth Olsen and Benedict Cumberbatch are really well done. I'm excited to see where things are going forward, and I also really have to praise the at least the earlier trailers for not giving away too much. They never give away who the actual villain is in those trailers. They never give away the fact that some things we assume don't happen. And there are a couple of appearances that audibly made me cheer a little bit in the cinema. But that is my overall brief thoughts. Now let's get into the spoiler territory. So getting into that character that I feel like has been let down a little bit, and that is Scarlet Witch Wanda, played by Elizabeth Olsen, who's the villain in this. And make no mistake, she is the strongest Avenger. I'm one of those people that have always believed that. The fact she went one-on-one with Thanos kind of spelt that out. And Elizabeth Olsen is great in this, but it does feel like they devalue her arc in WandaVision. WandaVision was all about the stages of grief. That's how it was played out. And her motive in this is she really wants to have her kids back and will steal this girl's powers to go to another universe and kill the one from that universe and insert herself into that position, which kind of, for me, devalues her arc in WandaVision, especially that poignant farewell between her and Vision at the end of it. Sure, there is the mid-credit scene where she is looking through that book in her witch outfit. I could see that she would definitely look for a way to bring that family back. I totally get that. But the fact she goes just pure crazy horror demon villain, I feel like it was very much a leap from where she was at the end of WandaVision. Not saying it's not completely unbelievable, but the way she changes is so suddenly. She is terrifying and definitely powerful to go against, and has this amazing scene where she takes out an alternative universe's version of the Avengers called the Illuminati, who I'll talk about in a moment's time. I just don't feel like what happened with Wanda is 100% where she was going at the end of WandaVision. I feel like that's mainly down to my own expectations, but it does really feel like they accelerated her progress to insanity just to give her a scary demonic look, because the sequences where she's chasing Strange and America are brilliant. There are some tense moments. There's a great little sequence with a mirror, but her logic can be quite questionable at times, and I can see why there is a great majority of people online that are annoyed by the characterization in this. But Elizabeth Olsen does her performance very well. Now, getting into the Illuminati. So, in this alternate universe they go to at one point, Doctor Strange meets these six individuals who are as follows. We have, of course, Professor X in the animated, comic accurate wheelchair. Honestly, when the 90s X-Men theme played, that gave me goosebumps. That really did give me goosebumps. Unfortunately, that cameo was spoiled in the trailer a little bit, but the other members of this Illuminati are very nice indeed. We have Captain Carter. We have Rambo as Captain Marvel. I forget the character's name from the top of my head, but the lead from the Inhumans show also makes an appearance. But the internet also finally got what it has been fan casting for years in this movie. We have John Krasinski playing Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic himself. When he showed up, I was overjoyed. But while these cameos are there, and there is a little bit of an awkward pause introducing each one, sort of giving that pause for the American crowd cheer, it didn't take away from the moment for me. But they don't overstay their welcome. In fact, when Scarlet Witch shows up and takes them on, she dispatches them all very easily and very brutally. This is as far as you can push PG-13 without it crossing over into gore territory. People are getting decapitated. People are getting literally shredded. They are getting crushed. The deaths in this are unquestionably brutal, and it's established very early on when Scarlet Witch attacks the temple. We've seen a lot of times with villains like, we'll destroy a city, we never see anything. The film makes a point to show us some burnt corpses. It makes a point to show us that she will mercilessly kill some people, which also goes back to one of my bigger issues with Scarlet Witch characterization, is towards the end when she is being confronted by her boys who are terrified of her. She claims to say she will never hurt them, she would never hurt anyone, which is, I audibly sighed at that line because we just watched you brutally murder people for 2 hours at this point. But I feel like that is how she's in denial about what she's doing, why she's doing it for the right reasons. It's a questionable one, but she does make a fantastic villain in this movie. Like I said, the horror sequences are really, really good. And I forgot to mention, the action sequences are very well executed. There's a particular fight between Doctor Strange and what we assume was going to be evil Doctor Strange from the What If series. Turns out it's just another evil looking Doctor Strange, but who's done things for different reasons. They have a magic fight with musical notes, and it is glorious. It shouldn't work. It's really campy, but that's what Raimi does best. Campy with horror elements thrown in there. He does it expertly. It was a simple story that was nicely played out, and I had a very good time with this movie, other than some of the leaps in logic when it comes to the Scarlet Witch heel turn. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I did enjoy the focus on Doctor Strange's relationship with his missus that he never got, and it's sort of established that he never will get there, but they have this tender moment where he confesses his love to an alternate version of her that generally just feels like another I Love You 3000, but it is so powerful, and that's just a testament to how good a performer Cumberbatch is. Overall for me, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, it was a simple story, had some very good horror set pieces, and was an enjoyable watch. America Chavez is a great introduction to the MCU. I do hope we get more of her in later projects with a bit more depth added to her, other than the girl that needs to be saved. There was obviously some stereotypes and tropes in there, but the character was likable and we cared about her fate. Also, Wong is just always fantastic in his movies. Disney Plus, when are we getting a Wong show? Please and thank you. Thank you very much. Summarizing, good horror elements, some questionable characterization, good action set pieces, and the mid-credits stinger is okay. I had to double check who this character was, but it's nice to see Charlize Theron coming into the MCU. I'm interested to see where this goes next. Overall, for me, I'm going to have to say that Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is a good cup of tea. So, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, have you seen it? If you haven't, you thought down in the comments below. What are your thoughts on the Wanda heel turn? And is she really dead? Because she sort of seems to kill herself at the end. I certainly hope she's not gone. I would love to see her come back. I feel like we have unfinished business, especially when it comes to the White Vision as well from the end of WandaVision. I'm interested to see where that goes. But until next time, everybody, my name is Josh. I've been Movie Apprentice. I'll see you all in the next video.